Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again. Tonight, I just want to talk about transferring your money. If you have a lot of cash, what can you do with it if you're coming from the U.S. and you don't want to put it in the bank and transfer it electronically? How you can, what your options are, and then two, if you want to transfer money, how to do it as privately as you can. If you want to do it electronically, as in a bank wire. Like, say you're coming from the United States, so say you're European and you want to transfer your money down here to Latin America, you want to do it as quietly as you can. Well, the first thing you're going to have to do is get a lawyer if it's in the bank. And the best thing you can do is just talk to your lawyer, send it to your lawyer's account. Then he can either just give it to you or write a check to your when you open up a local account, or you have other options too. But he'll just give it to you and tell you what your options are when you get down there. Or say you're a European and you want to break the trail, you would just fly to the States, get your cash there, have your cash sent to you in the States, or withdraw cash from it in the States, and maybe if you want, you could buy some gold coins because it's very easy and cheap to buy gold in the States. Whereas in Europe, the premium's kind of high, so if you want to break the trail that way, you can too. And let's say you're an American and you're in the States, what are you going to do? Well, if you have a lot of cash and you don't want to put it in the bank, the best thing you can do is just realize that anything over $10,000 you have to declare. So if you get on a plane with more than $10,000, there's a good chance that the authorities are going to figure that out. And as you walk through the airport, they announce over the loudspeakers, if you're in the international part of the airport, if you have more than 10,000, you need to fill out a special treasury report. I forget what it is, but you got to fill that out. They also have it in print. It's in signs. I can't remember if it's electronically, if it's a sign, but I've seen it many times when I've flown. They do that so that you're perfectly aware of what the law is. So if they catch you with it, they'll take it from you. So the best thing to do if you're going to travel on plane is to declare your cash. Now here's the thing: a lot of people have their cash seized, even if it's less than $10,000, even though the law says you can take out up to $10,000 without declaring it. And if you declare over $10,000, you can take that too. Except for the problem is the government doesn't honor their own laws or their own promises. So what should you do in a situation like that? Well, I would say nowadays, if you're in the States, it's so sketchy right now that anything over $3,000 I wouldn't want to risk. So what would I do? I wouldn't get on an airplane. Say your goal is to come to Latin America. I would take myself and my cash to the border and walk across. Excuse me. I would take my cash and myself. I'd either have a friend or a relative drive me. I wouldn't get on an airplane. I would either drive myself or have someone drive me, and I probably wouldn't even take a bus. So if you can't have private transportation take you to the border, then probably don't do it. But like, say you're in Arizona, you can get, if you're in Phoenix, you can get any shuttle and they'll take you right down to the border for like $25. You just got to get to where the shuttle locations are. So that's what's kind of cool about at least Arizona or Phoenix. So if you're in Phoenix, you would just take the shuttle to the border, have a family member or someone drive you to the border, and then walk across. There's no one on the U.S. side or the Mexican side who's going to count your money or ask you anything about it. I've traveled many times this year, and I've been told by people there's people on both sides of the border going to hassle you, but I've never experienced that. In fact, I just traveled across the border about a month ago, and I heard all this noise about the Mexican government's cracking down and making you show your passport to enter the country. And that's just not true. You walk across just like you normally would. It's up to you if you go get your tourist card and have it filled out now. If you don't get a tourist card and you don't have it filled out when you go across the border to Guatemala or Belize, they'll get you there. That's when they'll get you. So you're going to have to do that if you want to be legal. If for one reason or another you don't have that, you don't want to fill that paperwork out. Once you get across the border into Mexico, you can just get on a bus and go wherever you want. And I've never had any soldiers or law enforcement get on the bus, ask to see my passport. And if they did, I would just show them an expired driver license or my current driver's license if I didn't have a passport. I know a lot of people sweat that, but I wouldn't. I just wouldn't sweat it. Then when you get down to the Guatemalan border, you wouldn't take a shuttle because they want to see your passport. Same with the international bus. You just take local transportation, go to the border and walk across, and then just keep on going because no one's going to stop you. Now, if you have the proper paperwork and passport, which I suggest, your life is going to be a lot easier. You just walk across the border with your cash, gold coins or whatever it is you have, whatever you're willing to risk, or um, have it safely secured and hidden away in your possession, in your clothes, perfectly closed. No one's going to put their hands on you. At least that's never happened to me where they made me take off my clothes or put their hands on my pants to see what I have. But if you have like large denomination bills, you can take quite a bit across. Now you're supposed to declare anything over 10,000, and in Mexico you're supposed to declare anything over 20,000. So I'll leave that up to you to decide how you want to handle that. But there's no one checking, and there's no one making you count anything out or asking you or anything. You just have to press the button, and then they'll go through your bag. If you get the red, if the screen, you just keep on going. But even when I've gotten the red, they never really look in your bag. They just barely look in. They barely go through it. They just go through the motions. They're just a bunch of bureaucrats who don't really care. And if you're a well-dressed American, they're not going to give you a third degree. And if the volume of cash is large, I would not suggest you take a second or third class bus. I would suggest you stick to the first class buses because it's a lot safer. The kind of people who get on, it's kind of a screening, it's more expensive. That screens out a lot of the people who might want to take advantage of that kind of situation. So it screens that kind of thing out. So you're with like-minded people and things of that nature. So you're going to be a hell of a lot safer on a first class bus in Mexico. So if the volume of cash and gold is such that you're really worried about it, take the most expensive bus you can to wherever you're going. And then wherever you're going, secure your cash or gold in your apartment, or store it with someone you trust, or a lawyer. If you don't trust your friend or your lawyer, then I think you have some lifestyle choices to make that will help you out there, because if you can't trust anyone, it's going to be hard down here. So find people you can trust. And then that's what I would do for people who want to, transfer their cash or whatever privately. And again, if you want to do everything electronically, you don't want to leave quite a paper trail, then that's easy. Once you get down here, you just find a lawyer, or some people I know, they just find another gringo that they trust, or another local person of whatever country they're in. Then they just do a bank wire to that person. Could be their girlfriend, it could be a friend of the family, it could be a lawyer. Leave that up to you. But personally, I would rather just find a lawyer I trust and send a bank wire to them, and that's just between you and your lawyer. It's perfectly normal, nothing suspicious if you transfer money to a lawyer in Latin America. If anyone ever asks, or if you want to put it down on the form why you're doing it, yeah, you're just buying a parcel of land if it's not that much. If you're spending a lot of money or sending a lot of money, then you're just buying a house, and you don't have to prove that or anything. And then when you get down here, if you've already made arrangements in advance, once your lawyer gets that money, he can just transfer that to your account, whatever, maybe your corporate account, your personal account, whatever it is you want to do, or your girlfriend for that matter, depending on how private you want to get and how you want to play that. So I'll just let it go at that. So this video is about how to transfer your cash and or your electronic assets as privately as you can in the times we live in, and how to do it legally, or how to keep a low profile about it without advertising everyone what you're doing. So thanks for listening, and if you like the video, like it, and I'd appreciate it if you could share it. And if you like what I'm saying, leave a comment and some suggestions on anything else that you'd be interested in learning about. Thank you.